Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we're going to take a look at the free-to-play Ritus, both on and off the Festive Memories team. She should be interesting, maybe as a fifth unit that you don't know who to bring for a blue team. If you need a little bit of defense, I guess she could fit the bill. She's water, physical. She has her own gear, but I'm not done with it, so I'm just going to give her this water claw. Festive Memories, Wielder of Magic, which is an orange team, so don't really know how well she's going to fit there. And then the Flashback Emissary, which all the free-to-play characters have. Her ult is an AoE water attack for 290%, and then gives you guard power, which, cool, but, her Festive Memories team isn't guarding, so not that much of an impact. Her first skill changes 2 greens to 2 blues. Very generic orb change, pretty good. And then instead of a 10% gauge increase, it's a weakness resistance down stacking debuff. Which in some cases can be useful, and in other cases maybe not as useful if only one character or something is weak point or type advantage. It's kind of a hit or miss. I generally much prefer just 10% all gauge increases, but yeah, it's better than other effects, I guess. And then her second skill is the interesting one. Applies a barrier stack to the ally with the lowest percentage of HP. Now, this is not restricted to anyone. Like, Maribel has only Festive Memories characters. Albus is the protector. She just puts it on whoever's low on HP, which can work, because it's not restricted to any team. She just do it. The Festive Memories part is for Pierce power, which, I'm not too fussed about if I'm just trying to use her as an orb changer and a kind of a defensive support. I don't know how many Festive Memories characters I'm going to have on other teams, so I'm not really worried about this. I do want to see how efficient we can make this barrier on other team setups, and her orb change means she's good for blue team. So let's jump in and test her out. Alright, so we're going to put her on the full quote-unquote Festive Memories team. We don't have the DPS for this meta yet. We'll get Violet in a week or so, maybe a little bit less than that. But Ritus, being a green orb changer, is going to be important because we start off with 2 green orbs that need to be changed. So that's a plus. And the fact that everyone here is Festive Memories, everyone will get that Pierce power buff that's on the front line when we use her barrier skill. It's just that one barrier in this fight doesn't really mean that much when Trainee's doing like 5 or 6 hits. And it's nice that it's a little extra level of protection against the person with the lowest HP, which she's going to hit a lot. And that is nice. And one barrier does help negate some of that damage. Like, it could be the barrier that stops her the ult or something. But it's only going to really work on this team that has a butt ton of barriers. Because as soon as you put her on another team, you don't get the Pierce power anymore. The barrier, the one time, like, if you don't need a barrier on a stacking team traditionally, where they only hit you 1-2 times maybe in a turn, they don't do that much damage. So it's really applicable to just this team. And I think that's what's going to hurt her in the long run, unfortunately, is that she's just not going to be that useful outside of the Festive Memories team, which only gets buffed 1 time a year. So here, we've got 2 stacks of barrier across the board. That's great. We have not been able to use her skill yet just because we don't have the points. If we were able to just do 1 orb change turn 2, then we would have. But right now, haven't used her, and Trainee's going to hit us 1, 2, 3, and okay, just 3 hits right there. And oh wow. Look at all the orbs. Okay, 1, 2. Boom. Boom. Okay, let's take Maribel out for Ritus, and we'll use her convert. And then orb change, and then the barrier. So the second barrier stack is going to Momiji, and then we'll do 2 more stacks there. So right now, it's looking good. Shuna got a little bit extra Pierce power right there. That's always nice. We put an extra barrier on Momiji, who's going to be one of the 2 characters that's going to get hit this turn because both her and Ritus are sealed. I guess we could do this and just make it so Ritus doesn't get hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so now it's only Momiji that's actually going to get hit now. And we're only on EX2, not a very difficult stage by any means. She's got low HP. We're already halfway done with her. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we blocked 3 of those hits, and 1 of those came from the Ritus barrier. And I'm just going to send literally all of these green orbs, because we can't really do anything about it. And I'll just... Okay, there goes another barrier. Oh, no, we didn't have a barrier anymore. Okay, so... She's not as useful as... Why did you hit Shuna there? That's weird. She's not going to be nearly as universally good as the free-to-play Gobta or the free-to-play Rieger that we got earlier this year. And the only reason is that the barrier doesn't do much off of this team. It's just kind of an unfortunate thing where, is it useful? Yeah, sure. Is it going to be a mainstay on other teams where like you need an alt swap and an orb change like those 2 characters? No, not really. And so 1 barrier, again, in a fight that doesn't hit you very hard, only hits you a couple times a turn, and you don't need the defense, it's not super efficient. I'd rather bring a character who gives me something else out of her skill, because the Festive Memories units are the only ones that get the Pierce power. So even though you're applying a barrier, if she's the only one on that team, she's the only one getting it, and she's certainly not the DPS character. So there's the ult. Alright, block that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Broke her barrier. And broke her barrier too, because she does 6 attacks. Ugh, okay. What does this turn look like? Well, pretty good, actually. So let's do another stack here. Put it on Momiji. And then we'll bring Maribel in and we'll use her orb change. That'll give us the entire hand. Unfortunately, no Shuna orbs. Kind of unfortunate. But maybe we'll get some... We got at least 1 coming in next turn. So... we are going to get some use out of it. We don't need to use every single skill available on this team. So I think we can just use the Pierce and everything. Or she's just going to straight up die. One of the 2. Let's just get the Shuna ult and then let's just use it. Oh, yeah. 1 more hit. Alright, there's an orange. We can give her a barrier. Ouch. Jeez, okay. Alright. One orb. Thank you for that. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so how much Pierce power? We have 30% Pierce power right there. And then for Trainee, we've used 3 orb changes from Ritus, so that's why she has 30% weakness resistance down. So we are benefiting in multiple ways from this. So let's just do the synergy, and then let's use Momiji so we can actually get the Pierce. That's the most important thing, because that's what we're really banking on. And then 2 stacks of Albus. Not that we need it, because she's gonna die. She would have died from the the Maribel ult, but hey, we're trying to make the team look good, right? So let's make it look good. Disappear from my sight. 1.2. Alright, it's good. Would we have done less if we didn't have Ritus on the team? Yeah, because we wouldn't have had the 30% resistance down, we wouldn't have had the 30% Pierce power. Like, she is giving this team a lot. Specifically, this team, though. If you take her off the team, doesn't look quite as good. So let's try that. So the problem with trying to showcase a defense character is that there's not a lot of places to actually do that, because defense metas are so far and few between, and they don't really have much outstanding events that we could test them in. So it's like, we're going to put her on the Coleus team, we're going to go into Tempered Edge Veldora, and we're just going to make it work, because obviously it can. She can be the green orb changer, Violet's the orange, Coleus Rimuru. We brought the new Master Hero for Pierce, and then Blanc is, super weak point, so that'll work, and that will help Ritus's secondary effect on the orb change help Blanc do more damage overall. And that's cool. It's just that we don't really need a lot of defense in this stage. We can definitely use it, but it's not like we need it. Alright, so Blanc in. We need a special convert. Thankfully, we have Violet for that kind of aspect. But, as I was saying in the intro for this part of the video, defense teams just don't pop around very often. Like, we got Vengeance, and then we got Prosper? Well, I mean, if you want to count the idols, sure, but I mean, one, nothing we have for them is available anymore, and two, like, yeah, it's defense. Wow, what a hand. Yeah, technically, yes, it's defense. You're right. It's just that they do like 10 million damage after a while, so I wouldn't call that a pure defense team. It's the same as this team in the Prosper team. It's defense and charge because you're stacking something. Let's just send these orbs. But yeah, there's just nothing to really use defense teams on, except for the one Tempered Edge stage that I guess we'll do after this with the Earth 2.0, which is a green focus stage, by the way, so it's like, how useful is that? Let's do this, and then we'll take Violet out, and we'll bring in Ritus, who can then use her Orb Change. Weakness Strike down, or Weakness Resistance down, means that the hero and Blanc will hit harder. That's always a good thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Guaranteed crits. Not really. Okay. Do it again? No, okay. 18-7. Alright, cool. Wow. That's... it's almost impressive how bad this game wants me to not use this character. Sure, game. I don't know what you're trying to play with here, but we'll go along with it. We'll just send this ult. I don't really care. This is really bad. This is really bad. Oh, hey, no. Yeah, let's give Violet a shield if we have points for it. We do have points for it. Okay. So Orb Change, Weakness Resistance down, Orb Change, and now Violet is semi-protected. Is that good? I mean, it does save us some damage, yeah. Let's not get ourselves twisted around that. It will save us some damage. We're on turn 5, though. So we only have 3 more turns to go. And he hasn't really hit us that hard. He's going to ult here. But Violet will not take any damage from that ult. She'll take damage from whatever follow-up attack we get. Okay, is that another hand of no blue orbs? It's like 4 turns now. Alright, so yep. We didn't take 2,000 damage right there. That's cool. Well, still took that, though. So the barrier being on one character, one time, is really not that impactful unless you can do it to everybody, like Maribel. But also Maribel has that restriction where it only applies to Festive Memories characters, which is not a big team. Orb change, shield again on Violet. Why not? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, now it's on Blanc because she's got lower HP. Sure, well, sure that works. I don't want to use Rimuru yet. We'll do rainbows on someone else. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we get like 2 Blanc orbs next turn, we'll convert and then we'll bring in Coleus Rimuru for the rainbows. And that'll get the Blanc ult. Perfect. That works for me. Alright, broke that barrier. Alright, saved us some damage. Let's ult swap. And orb change. Boom. 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 And we take Violet out because she has no orbs? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, and convert. And bring in the hero for funsy onesies, I guess. I mean, we could use a rewind, but I don't really think we need to. Double stack of Lumi. This will get us the Blanc EX ult. We should have more than enough points to use the 3 big time buffs that we have available. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 450. We're looking good. And now we've gotten, what, 30% weakness resistance down, which will definitely help. All right, cool. Thank you for that. Yep. Oh, broke that barrier, but didn't take any damage on Blanc. Isn't that great? All right, Pierce. And then we'll bring Violet in. And we will magic buff, weakness strike. 1 stack of Lumi, so that's synergy activated. And that's it. So how much debuff do we have on him? 40% down? Well, let's make it 50. And let's do that for funsy onesies. Okay, so now it's 50% weakness resistance down, 100% weakness strike. We've got the 100% pierce power. We've got 100% magic buff. We've got 100%, we already said 100%, 50% synergy resistance down. This should do really good damage, if not just straight up kill him. And, yeah, 2.1, sorry. Was Ritus effective there? Yeah. Did she support the team in multiple ways? Yeah. She, negated some of the damage. Weakness resistance down helps Blanc hit harder. Orb change, we definitely needed on that fight, even though half the turns were terrible. So, is she a good generic viable character who can bring just kind of one extra layer of protection for other teams? Certainly. Does that make her a super great unit? Yeah. I think she's generic enough to use. Physical blue stacking teams, we're going to get more of those. Alright, try and make this work. Four layers of defense. We have an 80% chance to guard from Protector Sokka. We've got, one barrier. We've got the attack and defense down from Skill Fuse Soe, and then we've got a heal from Lumi. So between all of this, we should be fairly covered in Bulwark battle versus Elmesia and Gazel. So we can't bring any EX characters into this, so we're bringing a whole bunch of defensively focused characters, and Ritus, being a free-to-play defensive character can at least help us negate some of the damage that we're already negating anyways. I just want to see how efficient she's going to be. We don't have to do it for very long, though. 5 turns. Turn 1 orb change for Ritus means that we can get Sokka online for turn 2, which is going to be really, really impactful. A bunch of orange orbs, which aren't great, but Sokka does buff up oranges by a little tiny bit. Okay, that works too, I guess. Alright, damage, lots of damage. Let's take Aaron out of here, and let's just do this. So we'll actually just lower their attack for now, because we're not really getting anything, and then we'll guard up against any additional attacks. So the guard won't protect us from the alts, but the attack down and the defense up certainly will. It's just that now we need a few points to survive the last couple of hits and the last couple of turns. So let's see how much we do here. And 2,400 damage. Alright, it's not bad. Gazel, 3,600 damage. Okay. Okay, the crit goes up. Now becomes a problem. So 1, 2. We need some green orbs. I really wish we got more green orbs here, but it is what it is. We'll at least get some points back. We're still guarding, so these are only normal attacks. They do have guard penetration, though. So, let's find out. Okay, cool. And Gazel, 1,000, 1,600, 640. He still has the attack down, we have defense up. That's why the guard penetration didn't really hit that hard. Well, let's do this. We have the green buff active still. The attack nerf is gone, but we're going to have 109 points next turn for the nuke, which will allow us to heal. It'll allow us to put up a barrier once, which we haven't used, so this just reinforces my whole thing about how she's just not going to be that useful away from the Festive Memories team. Okay, so Isis out of here. Let's heal. Alright, cool. Let's put a barrier on someone, probably herself. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and Maid Lumi did get the Pierce Power. Not that it matters, because this is a defense team. And let's lower their attack and up our defense, and then let's guard. I don't think they hit us after the ult, but when we get hit by the Elmesia ult, Ritus will take 0 damage from that, which is good. So let's just send this. We'll get our animation in here too, since we haven't had it the entire fight. So we can end on a high note? Question mark? Question mark? My little prayer. Prayer of not taking damage. Alright, ooh, we crit there. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, Elmesia does 2,800 versus Soe, but literally nothing against Ritus, which, is good. Not taking damage is good. Doesn't save us from that. And now we're good. And wouldn't save us from that either. Does she work on a defense team with other defensive effects going? Yes. Would the barrier have saved us this entire run from dying if we didn't have other defensive materials or skills? Probably not, no. because we weren't really able to activate it very quickly, and it's only one barrier for one character. It's not Albus who's giving everyone a barrier. It's not Maribel giving everyone a barrier. So Ritus, if you really need a green orb changer, yeah, she'll work, but I don't see this barrier stack, really coming into play outside of this month. So, but you still can orb change, and you still can lower weakness resistance, so that's something. And so she's got an orb change, but I really am looking for free-to-play characters that can do good things with both skills, not good things with one skill and then a very kind of limited buff. It can save you some damage. Let's not get that misconstrued. But it's not a lot. You can only do one unless you're doing some multi-use skill thing. It's not really my cup of tea. You need barriers on everybody. But let me know what you guys think of this new free-to-play Ritus. Am I being a little hard on her, or is she just kind of meh? Let me know in the comments below, but that's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.